Hey, how's everyone doing? My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this is our live edition of Wednesday afternoon. We always come to you on Wednesday afternoon, and we always look at something that has to do with drawing the portrait. And today, I'm not going to disappoint. I always start off by saying I'm not going to disappoint because that's never my aim, right? So let's see here. Let me get my screen up going here so you have something to look at. Let's see here. Let's see. Kristen's here. Believer Keepers checking in. This is going to be a good class. And why won't that start up there? Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. Now we're ready. Okay, so if you are new to this, we have a really active Facebook group. I would encourage you to join. What happens on Wednesday morning is I will put 3 different portraits into our group, and then the group gets to vote on it of which portrait they want to draw. So this was the winner today. And if you're looking to download the link or reference, we keep that in our Facebook group, and that is open to the public. So you are welcome to join us and participate. It's a great place to share your work and get some really great feedback. So anyways, my name's Kurt. I am a dad who draws, and let's go ahead and get started, okay? Hey, look at that, James. James is checking in as well. Hello, James. All right, let's start off with the basics, because I think if we establish like a basic process to drawing the head, you will feel much better about it. So what I want to do is start off with 3, and Kevin's chiming in. I see you, Kevin. Let's start off with 3 spheres, okay? And we're just gonna put them down on the page like this. You know, another thing too is when it comes to drawing the head, a lot of times if you quickly do the head you're going to draw a couple times before you actually sit down to draw it multiple times before you start, it helps you to get familiar with that particular person as an individual. So just remember that when you come in to draw someone's portrait, it might serve you well to draw that 2 or 3 times, about 5 minutes each, okay? So when I approach drawing the head, I think of this 3-step process. I think of 2D, 3D, and the placement of the face, okay? These are the 3 steps that I take. So what are they? If I demonstrate with my own head here, the 2D axis is the head tilting to the right, or is it tilting to the left? Okay, so that's always the first question we have to ask ourselves. Is it tilting to the left or to the right? So in these drawings here, let's go A, B, and C, and let's say that C is leaning to its left, B is straight up and down, and we will go ahead and make C slightly leaning to its right. This is the 2D axis, okay? Once you establish which direction the head is tilting side to side, then you have to ask yourself, is it tilting forward or is it tilting back? That's the 3D axis, all right? So the 3D axis, let's say in A, we'll say it's tilting back a little bit, and we can indicate that with like a little arrow like that, all right? B, we'll say that B is looking straight at us, okay? So we're gonna just do that. And then C, we'll say that C, it's tilting forward just a little bit. So we can indicate that with this arrow right there, you see? So once you've established, is it the 2D axis and then the 3D axis, the next question is where along these axes is the face pointing, all right? So we do that by using a simple idea of a T, and the T The cross sections will start right here at the the temples of the forehead right here. You could feel them with your fingers. Okay, so let's look at A and say, okay, this is the there's the center line. That's the center line that goes straight down the center of the face. And so you're going to have a temple here, and then you're going to have a temple here. And this will form the T of the face there. You see that? All right. Let's jump over here to B and say that the temples are right about there. All right. So this is going to form the center of the face. All right. And then C, let's say that the face is off to the right. So we're going to, there's the center line there. And there's one temple. And there's the other temple right there. So this would, we're going to have this look right there, just like that. All right. So now we have established the 2D axis, we've established the 3D axis, and we've established the face. Now let's start putting some parts onto the face that will help to give us construction. Then we can start building more detail on top of that. So if I look straight at you, first thing I want you to realize is the face is flat on the sides, but when I turn my head, you'll see that the face is very round, okay? So the corner where that happens is right at the temple. So looking at A, we want to make sure that this is flat on the side like this. And then B, all right, we're going to kind of trim off the sides of the sphere there. And then on C, we'll do the same thing over here. So I'm gonna on A, this is gonna come across like that now. It's flat, remember. So let's do, I'm gonna erase some lines here so we don't get confused. So we don't need that anymore. We're gonna erase the outside parts of this here. Don't need that as well. And I'm gonna erase that and replace that with a straight line across the surface. All right, let's jump over to A here, and we're going to drop a line down the side. This line would represent something like this. This is the location of that line. It goes down the side of the center of the head. You see that? And of course, on B, you're not going to see it because we're looking straight at a face. But C, we'll have it coming down just like this. All right. So usually from the brow line, that's what we've drawn here. The brow line to the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin, those are equal lengths. They're thirds, but this is the way it works. It goes from the bottom of the chin, bottom of the nose, brow line, then hairline. But in my case, my hairline is almost gone. But generally speaking, that's how you could break it down as thirds. So if we're looking at A, okay, so I'm going to say, all right, there's the bottom of my nose, and then there's going to be the bottom of my chin, and then way up here would be the hairline. And you could just create a surface line that comes down just like that. So let's do that again. Hello, Mr. Chris. So the hairline is going to be right about here. We're in B. All right, there's the hairline. Brow line. All right, we're going to come down in thirds. Bottom of the nose. Bottom of the chin. Let's jump over to C. All right, hairline. Brow line. Bottom of the nose. And bottom of the chin. All right, I'm gonna just extend this line just a little bit because this is the bottom of the chin there. All right. Now, let's place our ears. Ears are going to be usually in the bottom section here. So that you could see how this comes around just like that. That's usually where my ear is going to fly. Down here. It's going to be down here. Bottom of the nose will oftentimes line up with the bottom of the ear. And these are general. Top of ear will line up with the brow line. It's another arrangement. Okay. If I go too fast, just ask me to slow down. Here's my ear. It's going to drop down a little bit for the corner of my jaw. You can see, you can feel the corner of your jaw. It usually drops right down from the ear and then sweeps down underneath the chin. So we'll drop this down a little bit and then sweep it across. We'll drop this down a little bit. Sweep it across, drop down, sweep it across, drop down, sweep it across. All right, let's get back over to A here. Now, since this is 3/4 views, when you see a 3/4, and you're going to see it today, that outside line usually is a straight line. Usually comes down like that. Same thing with C. C's going to come down. It might have a bit of a change of direction there. All right, let's keep going here. Let's fill in a couple more things here before we start drawing. Usually you can run your cheekbones sometimes can kind of come in like this. So we could do that here. A lot has to do with the model that you're drawing and how much of it you can see. And then the last thing I want to show you, because I want to get to drawing our face here, is the visor of the eyes. So what happens here is this will come down just like this. Right there at that top of the cheekbone. And then we'll come around like this. And usually this will fall right in line with the bottom of our nose. Let's do that over here. And we'll do it over here as well. It comes down to the cheek, and bottom of the nose. And now we can create our eye line. Our line comes right along here. This is about where your eyes will sit. This is going to curve around. So this is a very good base model for you to practice over and over again until you can understand these steps. It's an excellent process to really kind of get the head, the basic components of a head into your memory just by going over these things. So if there's any questions, just let me have it. So let's jump into our portrait for today and leave this behind. All right. Okay. I'm going to make a slight adjustment here. I'm just going to come over here like this. Oh, this is a this is the stand I use for my iPad to sit in. All right, here we go. Hey, Geraldine is chiming in. Hello, Geraldine. All right, let's start. Let's start just like what we just did a minute ago. Let's start with a sphere. Now we're going to do 2D, and it's definitely he's got his head leaning a little bit. There's my direction. He's leaning it slightly over to the right. All right, so that's our 2D axis now. Is his head coming forward, or is it head falling back? And I would say his head is almost straight looking at us. It's neither falling back, nor is it coming forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our brow line in. A brow line is going to come in here, I believe. Now his face placement, the placement of his face along this brow line. Well, it's off center just a little bit because it's a 3/4 view. So I'm going to say it's going to be right about there. That's the point right here. And let's just drop that down. And generally, you know what, here's another thought that I just had. You know, if you are practicing and learning how to draw, beautiful people, not beautiful people, young people are hard to draw. I'm just telling you, because you know, they don't show their bone structure. They don't show a lot of these things, and that can be really difficult. So if you're going to practice, I would recommend stick to an older generation, because you could see a lot of these different planes a lot easier. Once you get those down, then switch over to a younger group, and you could start because they just are not obvious on the surface. So here's his temple right there, right? And let's come over here, and here's his temple over there. And let's, just like what we did in the beginning, let's slice this off the side there, and same thing over here. We're gonna slice this off slightly. There's the center line on the side of his head. And actually, mine's gonna angle up just a little bit more like this. And you can actually see that. Let me demonstrate that for you. So if this is the corner, all right, so you're gonna have this brow line coming across like that, and then the side is gonna come down like this, you see? All right, let's keep going. All right, so the brow line is going to be have a slight curve to it. All right, so if I look at his head now, this is about where his hairline would have been. So let's come down third. So there's 1/3. That's going to be at about the bottom of his nose, and then we're going to match that again, and that's about where his chin is going to go. All right, look at this. You could see his cheeks coming in here. Cheeks kind of coming in there. And then his ear, let's go ahead and get his ear in here. Now the one thing before I draw his ear, I want to be very careful of this. This is going to be my first major measurement. Here is the temple, okay? Here is the other temple. So I've kind of got this distance here. And then if I come all the way back here, this is the back of his head. You see that? So let's judge that. Let's see how close we are here. So we're here. Okay, that's fine. But if I come back, I'm pretty good, I think. I'm going to come right there. That's going to be the back of his head. All right, let's go ahead and rough in an ear here. So I'm just going to... And that ear, now look at this, is interesting. Here is the bottom of his ear. As you get older, your ears get longer. All right, and if I use a horizontal measurement, okay, so where does that horizontally, where does that measure? In almost like right to the top of the lip. So if that's the chin, I'm going to be somewhere about, there's the bottom of my ear. Hello, Donna. Donna, we gotta get you to set an alarm or something, huh? But you know what? I'm just glad you're here. Okay, so there's the rough end of the ear. There's my nose. Let's drop down from the ear here, and now this is going to be the bottom of my chin. Let me just double check this. Maybe my ear's too long here. See, this is where you start making some adjustments. Maybe you don't have to make adjustments. Maybe it's only me. But this will get you on the right track. That's what we're trying to do here. All right, other side's going to come down. I always say, don't ever go for lightness. What you want to do is go for construction. Think of the construction first. All right, let's kind of get some other elements in it. Will help us. It'll help lock things in place. So let's look at the neck. The neck is coming around here. You see that? And then neck down here is going to come in here, right down like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to draw these elements per se. I'm just going to follow that little bit of line. Yeah, these might even, Chris, these might even be adjusted a little bit later, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna kind of follow this general shape here. And then we'll also put this jacket in right there, and then of course he has his coat on the other side. All right, let's go ahead and get his nose in place. His nose is going to be very helpful to us. All right, so when I start drawing the nose, a lot of times I like to use this idea of a man's tie. All right, and if we're looking straight at it, it's going to come down like this, and then it's going to come out like this. And then this becomes like the tip of the nose, and then this tucks in underneath. And then you would end up having the wings of the nose to the outside of that, you see? So let's go ahead and drop this keystone shape. So when I go to draw this nose, this is exactly what I'm looking at here. I'm kind of looking for that negative shape. That shape right there is going to help guide me. So if I'm looking at the side of my head like this, okay, that's my shape I want. All right, tip of the nose there, and it's going to expand out just a bit. And then, like our men's tie, now it's going to come in. It's going to be longer on the right-hand side there because this is a 3/4 view. Okay, let's get his nostrils in place. There's that one, and then this one is really kind of hidden. Okay, then underneath your nose, you can add a little bit of a tone. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker if you really want to like pop your noses out, you want to use a teeny bit of a coarse shadow. And the coarse shadow is going to be right where the light comes in contact. You see that right there? Where the light comes in contact with the shadow. All right, let's continue on here. Next thing I want you to be aware of is the ball of the mouth. This is the area that's round. It goes below the nose and then comes all the way around here. All right, this is going to help us determine the lines. So let's see. We're going to come all the way around like this, and then this is going to be show just a little bit more on this side because it's 3/4 view. Okay. Here's, I'm going to erase this area right there. Here's the bottom of the nose. Now look at this distance right there. You see that? So that almost looks like, if this is the bottom of the chin, okay, so it's almost like it's like a third. You see that? So if we're here, bottom of the chin is down here. I'm going to be right about there maybe. Okay, so this will be the center of his mustache. And then I'm looking at the edges. Now it kind of comes down here like this. And it goes to the edge of this ball of the mouth. You see that? And then right underneath the nose here, let's get the outline. This is going to curve around. And then it's going to curve around this side. Now the center part here of the mustache has a curve to it. So you want to give a surface line that creates a curve. Now we don't need every single hair on his mustache, just maybe the ones that are more in shadow. So I'm just gonna really capture the bottom ones there. And I'm really trying to feel the surface of them. Okay, let's determine this now. Let's look at this right there. You see that? Let's figure out where that chin is. So it's almost a third again. So let's say I'm gonna be right about there maybe. Now, here's almost. This is you could even add just a little bit of tone here. That's the shadow underneath his lip. And let's just get the center of his lip in here. So we're just going to, all right, so that's the right here of his lip. All right, here's the tricky part. Now, it's not symmetrical. It's not symmetrical. It's 3/4 view. So watch this. We want to almost come straight up here. And then this one is going to be longer. You see that? In fact, now that I've put this down, I'm actually going to close my mouth just a little bit more. All right, let's get this bottom lip now. And then what we want to do for the mouth, we want to give me an even tone across the whole thing, okay? Even tone. We definitely don't want this to be white. Now, look closely. Look closely at his mouth and look on the right-hand side here. You'll see this tone. I'll show it to you. It's a shape. So let's just, and it's dark. So let's just do this. You see that? And I'm looking at this right here. That little bit of an area right there. It's also, there's a slight little bit on the other side as well. It's not as big, but it is there. Okay, let's get his bottom teeth in here. I'm just going to add a little bit of tone. And then right there, I'm just going to add even a darker tone on this shape. We don't have to draw. When I draw teeth, I don't really draw teeth. I just look for the negative shape, and then I just start adding little areas of value. The last thing I want to do is try and draw the space. You never want to, don't ever try and draw the space in between teeth. Just think of it as one mass, and then some slight indications. Okay, let's keep going here. All right, let's get his chin in here. I'm going to add some overall tone to this bottom lip, just a little bit. Okay, let's work on his eyes now. So I'm going to look for the corner of his eyes. Okay, corner of his eyes. At least I'll get the right angle right. So there's one corner right there. And where's the other tear duct? Other tear duct almost lines up with the straight up from the nostril of his nose. Okay, let's get these eyelids in here, and we're going to come up. All right, this one over here. Okay, pupil is going to come around, and then don't draw the whole bottom of the pupil because the eyelid is covering that. So just add just a little bit of a flatness to the bottom of it, and we're going to do the same thing over here as well. Okay, now the whites of his eye, look, they're actually quite, they have a lot of tone. So let's just drop in an overall tone in his eye there. And the same thing on this side as well. Now there's usually the highlight for an eye is toward the top of the eye. So we could work around that. So I'm going to just come in here, get my pupil, just like that. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to leave a little bit of value, that little light value there, and then draw a dark pupil right around it. So drawing, let me show you this down here in the bottom right. Let's just say this is your eyeball. This is your cornea. And your opening is right there. See, what happens is when the light shines, it reflects right here on the top of your cornea. Yet, if another person is looking right at you, what they will see is a shadow in the top part of your eye, yet that's why you get this highlight right there. So usually when you put a highlight in an eye, it's so true. When you put a highlight on an eye, it's going to be toward the top part, and it's going to be usually surrounded by a darker value. The other thing that catches highlight, and you could see it in our model here. Look at this. The thickness of the skin that represents the bottom of the eyelid, that's also capturing light. The light is reflecting off the top of that right there. And let me show you on our picture where that's happening. See, it's right there. And this is also very, very common that you'll see when drawing portraitures. I'm going to give you a second to make sure you're able to see that before I erase it. So now when I erase it, you'll see it underneath. You see that? So when we go to draw the bottom eyelid, what we want to do is just leave that highlight. Just like that. And now we could add a little bit of tone underneath there. Same thing for this side. We could leave just like that. Okay, we could get in, let's go ahead and get our top of our eyelids in here. Same thing on this side. Okay, I'm going to add that wrinkles right there. These look great. Okay, now look at this. This is interesting. Look at the shape. Look at the shape of that shadow there. You see that? It's like that right there. And this one also has this kind of a shape. Look at that. Let's put those in. And on this side too. Drawing portraits is hard. So don't fool yourself, okay? Give yourself the time it takes to understand what's going on here. right, well, I'm going to wait before I put the eyebrows in until I get those. Well, we could put those glasses. We could put the eyebrows in a little bit. We'll put those glasses right on top of those eyebrows. Okay, now this is interesting. Check this out. Around the brow line, you've got the forehead comes down, and then you've got this shape of bone, the visor, top part that keeps things from hitting into your head. And so the older you get, like myself and Chris Clark, these things start to really show itself, just like that ear, almost like a Nintendo controller. So let's kind of look for that here, and just very lightly put in here like this. All right, now we're ready to let's get this side of his face here. Let's just kind of work ourselves down that side of his face. Okay, so we're gonna come in here like this. This is gonna kind of come in here to his. Oops, I probably went too big on that. So we're gonna come in here like this. This is gonna bring us into his cheekbone. And then his cheek is behind the cheekbone here, and this comes all the way down like this. Then it concaves a bit, but yet we get these jowls. I remember my teacher, one of my teachers I had, talking about the jowls. Look at these jowls. Cheeky. All right, we got those jowls there. He's got some over here too, right? Okay, what I'm gonna look at this. I'm gonna go ahead and draw this. Look at that shape right there. You see that? As long as I'm down here, and I'm going to kind of come in here, and this is going to come straight down like that. All right, so that's the big shape. And then I can carve that thing up there, right? And then this is going to come around like this, I believe. Oh, this is his other collar. All right, this collar comes out. Just kind of get some housekeeping done there, right? All right, let's do the glasses. The glasses are like the sundae, like the cherry on the sundae, okay? So here's the I want you to be very careful when you draw glasses, and this is what I mean. Let's just, for fun here, let's just say we've got glasses like this. Okay? Simple glasses. What I want you to be super aware of is be honest with yourself when you draw these, where are the eyeballs in relationship to the glasses? So, for example, in our example here, you know, we've got one eyeball there, and then the other one is over here. You see that? So when you start to put these glasses in, be very aware of where those are falling. All right, so outside of the glass, I'm going to put a little mark there. That's this outside corner. And then the other corner is going to be right outside of, look at that, right above the corner of his eye. Let's put that in as well. So I'm going to put mine right about there. Yours might be a little bit different. All right, straight line across. Okay, let's get the bottom part of his glasses now. Bottom part, there's the bottom part. And now this one I'm going to have you draw lightly, but how far? Oh, wow, look at that. That almost goes through the tip of his nose. You see that? So let's come all the way down here now and very, very lightly. In fact, I am just going to make mine, those look too big to me. I'm going to make them up just a little bit higher. Okay. And then, look at this. Here's the look at the outside of the glasses. Outside of the glasses are straight up and down almost. So let's kind of roughly put those in. Before we draw our curves, we want to get all of many of these little points correct. There's the bridge. That's easy to spot. So that's going to be right about there. Okay, I think we could come in here with a nice curve now. So there's that one there. I'm going to mirror it over there. And then I'm going to curve the edge here. Curve it there. And there are his glasses. And you can come back in here and erase some of the extra edges you have. Now with those in place, I'm going to add just a little bit more tone in his eye area here. Same thing up here. All right, let's get the little bit of corner here, right? Corner's going to be coming right there. Wow, I just discovered something. I'll tell you, you really do catch mistakes. Look at this. This is really interesting. Look at this distance right here. This is interesting. You got this corner right there, and then look at that. There, that about lines up with his ear there. If I take that distance, there it is right there. So his ear is about as far back as the width of his glasses. So where am I at here? There's my width. If I just extend out, wow. Look how off I am with my ear. Yes, you just have to do it. You know, you got to be careful not to really fall in love with your picture too much, and just be daring. So look at that. Look how far off my ear was. So I'm making the adjustment right now. Oh, see that? That makes a big difference. Okay, we are 1 hour in, so I just made this quick adjustment on mine, and I'm not going to erase the back end there so you all can laugh at me. The ear's coming around here. Look. This is what I'm doing with the ear. I'm coming up with this little lip right there, and I'm letting a slight overlap there, and then we're going to come down here like this, you see? All right, last thing before I shut down here. Last thing, I want to put a little bit of a hair in here. So I'm just going to come around here. You think I made his jawline way too long? I may have, but you know, I think what's a little deceptive maybe is when you start adding shadow, because the shadow will flatten it out just a little bit. But yeah, there's this whole area here that I'm kind of adding some tone definitely is probably a little bit smaller in the picture. And then we're going to come in here. That was a good eye, Tamara. I appreciate that. Okay, I think that's going to do it for today. I'm going to add a little tone here. My name's Kurt. I'm a dad who draws, and this has been another really good Wednesday afternoon portrait drawing. Thanks for chiming in, everybody. Do join our Facebook group. Please like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, absolutely do that. Geraldine and Tamara, Chris chimed in, Donna, Kevin, James, who else? Christian jumped in early. Hopefully she's still there, and BK started us all off. So thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you guys later, okay? Well done. Go out there, make your day great. Bye-bye.